Hello, fellow Columbans. I'm David. The seasonal changes that shape our natural environment also affect the world inside us, our feelings and outlook on life. Moving deeper into autumn, we adapt in body and spirit to the changes in the landscape, light, and air that alter our surroundings. These are signs of the dependable rhythms of creation set in motion by God. Yet they also mark the impermanence of all things and remind me that I am here as a grateful but temporary guest in God's world. As I'm lifted by the beauty of autumn, I also experience some wistfulness and regret. I reflect on the passage of time and wonder how fruitful my life has been and can yet be. This year, the pandemic also weighs on my autumn introspection as I anticipate winter in a time of disruption and isolation. In prayer, God welcomes me with my restless thoughts and blesses me with the reminder that God is always at work in and through our lives. The Maker of all seasons invites us to honor and celebrate how all created beings help to make God's world thrive, including and perhaps especially in autumn, at least according to one great voice in the church. The Anglican poet, priest, and preacher John Donne spoke about autumn in a way that expands my perspective about this season of mixed emotions. Preaching nearly 400 years ago, Donne observed that in heaven it is always autumn. God made the sun and moon to distinguish seasons, and day and night, and we cannot have the fruits of the earth but in their seasons. But God hath made no decree to distinguish the seasons of his mercies. In paradise the fruits were ripe the first minute, and in heaven it is always autumn. His mercies are ever in their maturity. If asked to name a season that suggests heaven, I might answer spring or summer, as they remind me of warmth, light, and new life. But John Donne wisely likens heaven to the season when living things have realized their potential for fullness. Autumn reveals both the ripening of all that has grown and the sowing of seeds that may seem hidden to us but receive God's constant, caring attention. Perhaps Donne is inviting us to understand heaven as a state of being in which we are most attuned to God's grace at work in and around us, aware of gifts planted in us by God that, with time, become a source of light and beauty in the lives of others. We might think of heaven as an eternal dwelling place, or as a realm of peace and harmony we hope to bring about here on earth. But no matter how we imagine it, heaven reflects the flourishing of our relationship with God, our dependence on the love, forgiveness, and strength we draw from God, and in response, our sharing of God's goodness and mercies. John Donne's words help me to look at this season in a new way. As he finds what is autumn-like about heaven, I'm discovering what is heaven-like about autumn. As I look up at a colorful canopy of maple leaves, I know autumn not merely as a season of endings and limitations, but as a time to celebrate our cycle of life in God and the branches of relationships that unite us as a people made in God's image. In autumn, I give thanks for the goodness, compassion, and wisdom people have shown me, and for the love, hope, and energy planted in me that will yet bear fruit for others. I pray that autumn will bring you deeper awareness that God never ceases to instill in us new potential to know and reveal God's love, and that God's lively gifts, formed in us through steady growth, will offer the world a glimpse of heaven. For this and for autumn, thanks be to God.